What's up, econ students? We're back for another video, and today we're going to be discussing the market and how it works and some of the different forms it can take. So I'm going to tell you a few econ buzzwords that you should really know, especially if you're taking the AP test. So I want you to, when I say these words, think of what it means and think of an example. I'm going to give you some time for this. So monopoly is the first one, oligopoly, and then duopoly, and then lastly polyopoly. I'm gonna take a sip of my water while you think. So just think of an example for each and think of what they mean. All right, that should be enough time, and I'm proud of you. So what's the first one? Monopoly. Monopoly is when mono, meaning one, means when one sole company has control over the entire market. One company has maybe not entire control, but near close to 100%. An example of this would be YKK. If you look down and you have a zipper, it's probably YKK. This one is YKK, and chances are most of yours are. They comprise over 90% of the market. And the next is an oligopoly. An oligopoly is meaning few, so 4 or 5 or 3 companies control the entirety of the market. And if not all of it, the majority. An example of this would be, technology. Credit cards is a great example. Visa and MasterCard and American Express. Airlines is another example. And then the next one is duopoly. Duopoly meaning 2. An example of this would be, Coke and Pepsi, or Airbus and Boeing. Companies that compete really head-to-head, and there's only really 2 competitors. And the last one we're going to go through is polygopoly. Polygopoly is when there's no real clear winner, and there's just a ton of companies. An example of this would be, HVAC and plumbing, when there's regional companies and none of them have a huge market share of like a whole country. So next, as you can see here, we have a map of the Middle East. So here at Capstone Studios, we do econ and history videos, not art videos, as you can see. So we tried our best on the map. And as you see, some of these countries have stars by them. Iran is one, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, Libya in the back. These countries are all, the ones that have stars are all part of an organization called OPEC, and that is called a cartel. So when you think of cartel, you probably think of, narcos, drug cartels. That's an example, but that's not really what it necessarily is. A cartel isn't necessarily illegal. A cartel is merely a few groups, a few players, companies, or countries that work together to regulate prices. So this one is OPEC. OPEC stands for Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. So in OPEC, there are currently 14 members. As you can see, these Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Venezuela, which is still in it, were the 5 founding members. They founded it in Baghdad, Iraq. Since then, several members have joined. Indonesia and Qatar have joined, but since then they have left. And currently there are 14 members. As you can see, all these ones. Venezuela, like we mentioned, Nigeria, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Algeria, Angola, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, and even Ecuador. So some they mostly all moved around the world, even though there's a large concentration in the Middle East. So what do? OPEC, as any other cartel, they really have a huge market share. They own over 80% of oil reserves and 50% of oil producing equipment. So they can really regulate the market as much as they can, or as much as they want. So what they do is they just make sure the prices stay level and make sure they all make enough money. There's one problem though with cartels everywhere, not only OPEC, but every other cartel. Each one of these countries are members. Sometimes they feel like cheating. They can go under and make more money. There's incentive for that. And what happens if one of these countries gets caught? Well, all the other countries would gang up on them and exclude them from their organization. And since this group is so powerful, they're able really to just cut off members that don't like it. That's what happened to Qatar. Even Indonesia had problems with that, and that's why both of those countries are out of OPEC. So thank you. That's really all you need to know about cartels, oligopolies, monopolies. Thank you.